Okay, everyone. Welcome again to San Jose State, and welcome to Admitted Spartan Day. It's a little bit after the hour, 2:05, so I'm going to actually start now. And as people start to roll in the room, we'll admit them, and hopefully they can actually catch up. My name is Mel Brown. I'm the Senior Advisor for the Access Center and the College of Social Science. Before we get started, let's actually do a little icebreaker. I know this is a small group, but in the chat box below, if you guys can put your name and your high school that you're graduating from, we just want to actually get to know you a little better and see where you guys are from. So in the chat box right now, if you guys can actually put your names as well as the high school that you're graduating from. And as you type in your name and high school, I'll try to guess the mascot. Cupertino High School. Let's see. I'm gonna guess the Cupertino Flying Squirrels. Am I correct, Aaron? That's probably not it, but I think that's a good guess. Uh, Conrad from Tracy High School, the Tracy Titans. Is that correct, Conrad? And Shura comes from Lynbrook High School, the Lynbrook Lions. I think I'm correct in that guess. And St. Francis High School, the St. Francis uh, Fighting Rhinos. Uh, I'm not sure if that mascot's correct, but I think it's a good guess. Tell me if I'm correct. Uh, any other high schools? Name in high school, and I can guess your mascot. And again, sure, it comes from Lynbrook. I think Lynbrook Lions is correct. Other names in other high schools. Other names in other high schools. Actually, I graduated from Mountain View High School, Mountain View years ago. Mountain View High School, the Spartans. So I left as a Spartan and became a Spartan at San Jose State. Actually, I attended here at San Jose State. All right, so for the new people that just came into the room, we're doing a little icebreaker. If you guys in the chat can put your name and the high school that you guys uh, originate from, so we can get to know you and I can guess your mascot. Okay, so we have some shy people in the room today, and that's quite all right. But again, I'll just give another few seconds. If you guys can put your name in the chat as well as the high schools that you guys attended. Okay, more people are entering the room right now. Okay, so we'll get started. Well, thanks for those who actually shared where you're from and your names. Thank you. We're going to actually get started right now. Again, welcome to San Jose State and welcome to Admitted Spartan Day. My name is Mel Brown. I'm the Senior Advisor for the Access Center for the College of Social Science. Before we begin, let me give you some highlights about San Jose State that you may not have known about. According to U.S. News, World, and Reports, San Jose State is number 7 academically out of the 66 public universities in the West. So out of all the public universities in the western part of the United States, San Jose State is number 7 academically. According to Money Magazine, San Jose State is number 24 out of the best colleges in America. Here's some other popular statistics and facts about San Jose State. A famous alumni, Bill Walsh, the Hall of Fame coach from the San Francisco 49ers. More people are entering the room. Some other famous alumni, Amy Tan, the famous writer of the Joy Luck Club. Stevie Nicks, lead singer of Fleetwood Mac. and John Carlos and Tommy Smith, the famous Olympic sprinters, whose statues, by the way, are actually out in front of our office in Clark Hall 240. So those are some of the highlights here at San Jose State. Now, this is Admitted Spartan Day. All of you have been admitted to San Jose State, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be coming this fall. We want you all to come to San Jose State. So some of these things that I reported to you, some of the highlights and some of the statistics, will hopefully make you feel proud of the university that you will come. We want you to come to San Jose State. We welcome you to come. And this whole presentation is about presenting what we have to offer in terms of advising in the College of Social Science and the Access Center. And we will begin our presentation now. And again, welcome. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, so again, this is Admitted Spartan Days 2021. It's from April 10th to Saturday, April 24th, which happens to be my birthday. Check out the list of our other available sessions for the week on our website. You can easily go to sjsu.edu / Admitted Spartan Days, or you can follow us on Instagram at Future Spartans. You can also follow us on Twitter at hashtag Okay, next slide. Okay, so here's what we're going to be reviewing today. Center information, access staff, our majors, services. I'm going to be just reviewing briefly mandatory Frosh orientation. And then at the end, we have a Q&A.
So throughout the presentation, if you do have any questions that come up, we will be answering them as you saw in your agenda until the end. But in the meantime, if any questions do come up, you can use the link that I just inputted in the chat, where you can put some questions. If you see a question that is very similar to the one that you have, you can vote it up, and we will show all the questions that people inputted at the end during our Q&A session. Again, the link is in the chat. So this is the Access Success Centers team, and each of us will be introducing who are in the center present today, the presentation. We'll get a chance to introduce each other. So Mel, can you get us started?
I certainly will. My name is Mel Brown again. I'm the Senior Advisor for the Access Center for the College of Social Science. I'm a former graduate of San Jose State. Actually, I entered as a freshman way back in 1988 and graduated in 1993 with a social science degree. I later earned a master's degree in education at North Central University. And I've been with Access since 2016, and I've been with the university as an advisor since December 2001. Now, my favorite thing about advising is actually assisting seniors in planning for graduation. So when you folks finally graduate, you will be seeing one of the advisors you'll be seeing first is an advisor in our office. And I enjoy going over a student's record and making sure everything is okay for them to graduate. In those sessions, they usually share with me some of the things that they've gone through, some of the successes and some of the hardships. And I really like advising students on their final journey to their degree. I like to see their eyes lit up for that expectation to get a degree, because I had the same spark as well years ago before graduation. So that's the special aspect I have about advising, and also just experiencing the casual conversations with students as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Hi everyone, my name is Sophia Vu. I am an academic advisor here at Access. I've been with the Access team for about a year and a half now. I graduated from my master's program in education from the University of the Pacific. I'm born and raised in San Jose, but I did not attend San Jose State, so it's very nice to come back and be with my community now. my favorite part of advising really is helping students pick out a minor. So if you're unfamiliar with what minors are, they are a set group of classes that basically give you a specialty in a certain subject area, and they're not required, but they're very beneficial. And so the nice thing about the students within our college is that they have room to add a minor to their plan without delaying their graduation. So because of that, a lot of our students do have minors, and I love these conversations about them just because it doesn't have to be related to your major. It really could be whatever you're interested in. And I love getting to know what makes students kind of spark in terms of what makes education enjoyable for them, whether they want that to complement their degree or they just want to learn something just because they want to learn something. So really getting them or being able to help plan that out with them is something really exciting for me that I really love to do in my appointments.
And lastly, my name is Patricia Ayala Macias. My pronouns are she, her, and I am an academic advisor, and I have been working with Access for about a year now. So what I like about working with students is to have a discussion about things that they can use resource-wise, resources on and off campus, as well as encouraging students to think about their long-term goals, especially for career or whatever they're thinking about doing post-graduation. So it's either about graduate school or about gaining more work experience during their time here that they're here at SJSU. And also I graduated with my master's at Fresno State in education. So that is a bit about a few of us who are in the team here in this session today. And the other students will be able to meet all the rest of the team as orientation comes up for the summer. So for the College of Social Science, we have, these are the majors that we have in our college, and they range from African American Studies all the way until sociology. So these are just the majors. We did not post the concentrations or any of the minors that we also offer. And so as your students or your student yourself will be declared any of these ones, and you'll have an opportunity to either, explore other options as well once you're a student.
Okay, so what is the point of advising? What are we here for at Access? What we really do is make sure that you know what requirements you need in order to graduate, and we help you navigate those requirements. And so the biggest thing for us is that we help out with general education advising. So all San Jose State students, or even just any university you go to, will have some sort of general education pattern. And so what we do here at Advisors and Access is we help you identify what classes meet these general education requirements. And so you'll be meeting with us if you decide to come here during your first 2 years to really focus on those general education classes. We can also help you as well with just overall academic planning. So if you have a goal, like most students, to graduate in 4 years, we can talk about how many units that would look like for you per semester. Like I had mentioned before, if you wanted to add a minor, we can talk about what that looks like again for you as well. Just any individualized situation you have, we can help come up with an overarching plan for that. I will say though that we get more detailed with academic planning the longer you are here. So maybe towards like the end of your sophomore or junior year, just because it takes a lot of planning, things can change. So really as a first year student, once you come here, we're really just gonna focus on that general education advising. In addition, we have a new program called academic coaching. This is different from academic advising in the sense where, yes, with academic advising, we're helping you understand your requirements, talking about the classes needed in order to graduate. With academic coaching, it's the skills around that. So what can help me pass your classes? What are the time management skills? What are some goals you want to set? So kind of really more on that development side. We can assist with academic goal setting, career goal setting, personal goal setting. And this is a program, again, this is new for us, that we are hoping to expand for all students next semester. If you are ever on academic difficulty, we do have a support system for you in place for students who may be on probation. So this is just to really help make sure that you get back on track. Students in the program really love it because one of the big parts is that we pair you with a peer mentor. So a peer mentor is someone, one of the students within the College of Social Sciences, who been in your shoes, kind of know, what it is like to be a student in our college, and will help guide you and be that support system for you along the way. We also have tutoring. So there are tutoring options on campus, whether that's through peer connections or the writing center, but we do have in-house tutoring. So if you want something a little bit more tailored, if you want to write your, introductory psych paper, but you don't want just any regular English support, you want something a little bit more tailored to the social sciences, we have you covered there. And lastly, we have career counseling. So we don't have an actual career counselor on our team, but we do have a liaison with the career center. So we have a career counselor that we work with very closely, who works with most of our students here. And we bring this up for you right now because career counseling and career planning is just really important, even in the very beginning. So whether or not you decide to come to San Jose State, this is something we really suggest you do, is just to think about, what you want your career to look like. Just have those conversations during your first year instead of waiting until your final years. So we have a career counseling steps so that you can get started earlier. Next slide, please. So here's kind of a visual of what I had just talked about. Again, we have your academic plan, in which Access Advising, we mainly help you out with the GE advisors. This is not something that is a first year student you would have to do right away, but there you do have an additional advisor called a major advisor who helps you specifically with your major classes. They'll appear down the line, again, probably around your sophomore, junior year. But once you come to San Jose State, you can ask us all your advising questions, and we'll be there with you every step of the way. So you can see here too, we do have the career counselor embedded in, something that we would suggest that you really consider right when you get here. And of course, our other services like tutoring, peer mentoring, and any additional workshops we would decide to add each semester. So right now, all of our advising is virtual. So we've been doing it through Zoom. We do offer phone appointments if needed, but generally we're doing it through Zoom so that we can share with you our screen, and so that you can take a look at, your student account, all your courses, just take a look at your overall profile. So in general, this is probably going to be the case throughout fall as well. Fall is looking, we are trying to repopulate the campus, meaning we're hoping to come back, but we still will have virtual advising available too. Currently, what our online support services look like is we have our website. So if it's the weekend or just, after 5 p.m., you have a question, but we're not, working at the moment to answer it, you can check our website. We have a lot of great information on there for you to kind of take a look around. Maybe you can see if your question could be answered there. We have a program called Spartan Connect. This is our appointment scheduling system. So it's very quick and easy to use. And basically you can schedule an appointment with us using the system for any time you really want. The great thing about our center is that you don't have to wait weeks in advance in order to set an appointment up. You can probably get an appointment sometime within that week. We have a lot of open availability. In addition, if you decide to come here, you'll also have a Canvas course dedicated specifically for Frosh students. So we'll talk about little points and timelines and checkpoints along the way for you to consider as a Frosh student. Kind of works like our website. It's just a treasure trove of information for you to refer to. And of course, you can always email us anytime. When we do get busy, please expect around a 24 to 48 hour turnaround time, but otherwise we're very fast to respond to you, and we're always here to answer any questions. Even if it's not advising related, we can help redirect you to the correct place.
Okay, mandatory Frosh advising. I'm going to actually divert from the program a little bit and ask you guys to participate just a little bit in the chat below. If you guys can put in, what is your biggest concern during your first semester here at San Jose State? What would be your biggest issue or your biggest concern coming into college? Let me see some responses below in our chat. So go
If
ahead.
we have any parents or guardians also input, what is your concern for your student who is coming in.
Exactly. Parents can also participate too. Biggest concern, biggest issue, struggling to adapt to college. Okay. Thanks, QN. Anybody else? Biggest issue or your biggest concern your first year at college? Going to be a commuter student. Social life seems to be a bit of concern. Okay. Other issues. Course load. Very big issue your first semester. Thank you, Simran. Making sure you're taking the correct courses, struggling to meet academic requirements. All right, so these are some issues, some good issues. I mean, they're not good issues, but they're issues that that freshmen have coming into any campus, and it's all about the transition from high school to college. And during that transition, there are going to be some issues. So we have mandatory Frosh advising to help you with that transition. We're going to place a hold on your record that will allow you to actually come in and actually talk about your issues and address your certain issues that you're having your first semester. One of the biggest issues is not knowing what classes to take the following semesters. Well, we're going to help you with that. We're going to initiate and help you with a plan. We can actually pinpoint a plan for you that's actually created by your particular departments, and we'll help you navigate through general education as well. Resource, knowing about different resources on campus. So as the slide states, if you're having problems with writer's block in that English class, or you're having difficulty in that beginning stats class, we can actually get you help in statistics and in writing. And we can actually connect you with other important resources that will help you make that first year transition as smooth as possible. So that's the goal of mandatory Frosh advising, is to make that transition smoother. And thank you for those who participated in the little chat survey.
And now we will transition to the Q&A. So I will put the link of the chat to the Q&A response link again. So if you have any questions, the questions will pop up in here, and you will get a chance to also vote up some questions if someone has the same one. That's a really good question. So we have a question that says, is SGSU open up for everyone this fall? So the quick answer is no. It's a little bit more complicated than that for sure. It will largely depend on your students' classes that they're wanting to take. We will go over during orientation the different modalities of the classes. So the campus will not open fully for this fall. Most of the Frosh courses or Frosh experiences will try to move more hybrid or on fully in-person experiences. But again, they're, because of the abundance of caution of what will happen during the summer and coming into the fall, the university is still working out on all the other activities. So in terms of classes, there will be hybrid and online. And then the online will be either synchronous or asynchronous. So the synchronous ones will be meeting in the actual Zoom room at specific times. Asynchronous will be where the student will be taking classes at their own pace. They will have specific deadlines, but they don't actually have to meet specific times on Zoom for their class. So they will probably have recorded lectures where they'll be watching it at their own pace and deadlines that they'll follow with the course syllabus on Canvas. So for other student services, they are slowly opening up certain things. We do have a lot more study sessions opening up for the campus. There will be some other activities that will happen. It just largely depends on the activity and the number of people that will be in the room. But again, slowly the university will be opening up more. In terms of if any of you all have questions about, what is the university doing, how are vaccination, testing, all that stuff in terms of getting around to campus, how's housing going to work, I will link in the chat the SGSU Adapt page where they answer more specific questions about how faculty, staff, and students will be affected for this upcoming fall, as well as a recorded town hall meeting from the provost. So I'll put those two things in the chat, and you can also kind of watch or read those websites if you have more specific questions on what things will be open.
And just to follow up, I would even urge you folks to come down and simply walk around campus. I don't know if campus tours are going to occur, but just simply taking a drive down and just walking around campus, just to see the new construction, just to see what campus is like, and some of the things that are still open. I would definitely encourage you to come by, and remember that our offices are right across from the John Carlos Tommy Smith statues on campus. All right, so we have a second question there. Do you have to pay for tutoring? Actually, absolutely not. Tutoring is free. There's two types of tutoring that Access provides. That is statistics tutoring and writing tutoring. And those are absolutely free throughout the semester. We also have another tutoring source on campus called Peer Connections, and they tutor all subjects, and they're absolutely free as well.
So then we have the third question about social life and getting involved on campus impacted if you're a commuter student. A big part of San Jose State's student population are commuter students, and we still have a thriving social life. Usually what happens, again, in a non-COVID environment, regular setting, is that for commuter students, they don't go home right after the classes. They can still hang out in the student union, still hang out anywhere else, and they just have a presence on campus. So they largely spend a majority of their day on campus. So of course, you use that time to meet up with your friends, use study groups, go to club meetings. We definitely recommend that you take a look into our student involvement programs, whether that is through specifically the program San Jose State offers or any of the student clubs and organizations. Patricia just added in a link for Student Life, so you can take a look at that. But there's definitely ways to still get involved. Of course, it has been a little bit more tricky being in an online environment. It does take a little bit more coordination to find out when these student club meetings are at. It's gonna be through Zoom and whatnot, but hopefully, with the fact that we are trying to repopulate a little bit more for the fall, that you'll be able to have more of the in-person experience and see kind of more of that social interaction. But definitely we are commuter campus, and we still have a thriving, it's crowded there, in a regular time, students are still really interacting with each other. And they don't have to live in the dorms for that to happen.
Yeah, and so I linked in the chat the last link that says Student Life. I put the Adapt plan in terms of what are the changes that are happening currently. And for the current phase that we're still in, we're in phase 3. So most of the stuff, again, not everything will be open, but a lot of the student housing stuff is slowly, they're increasing more students who can be physically on campus. The Student Wellness Center is open 2 to 3 times a week. So students can actually go in and check out that facility. Catering, or the food is still open on campus. The student union is partially open as well. So students can actually check out the student union. And then also there will be certain study spaces where students can access Wi-Fi. So if you are a commuter and need a study space, there are now study spaces that you can, some of them you can book, others you just first come, first serve, but you would need your ID and making sure that you're socially distanced, and it won't be for group study sessions or anything like that. But you do have spaces where will be dedicated for you to study. And then Sophia just linked in some links for campus life and also student clubs. And then any other questions? Does anybody have? And in terms, if anybody's kind of wondering about registration, again, the whole registration process, we will be helping you through the summer. So one of the questions that some other parent asked in the last session was, am I expected to register on my own? And will someone help me through the process? The answer is yes. So you can definitely, we will have the regular orientation session, but if you need individualized help or need to change or adapt your plan to make sure that you're taking the right classes, you can always, we always encourage you all to definitely reach out to an Access advisor. You can meet with anybody, nobody's assigned to you for Access. You can reach out to one and then we can work with you one-on-one to make sure that your schedule fits with everything that you want to, especially if you are commuting, we can definitely adapt your schedule or your plan based on what your needs are. And then the last question is, or one of the questions is it possible to change your major during your freshman year?
It is possible, but the process won't begin until the very first week of school. Usually during orientation, when we do see students through orientation, they actually keep their major. But for folks who are changing within the orientation, we will give them instructions on how to change their major, as well as what classes to take during their first semester here at San Jose State. We are still an impacted campus. So what does an impacted campus means? That means that a lot of our majors have high numbers, and you do have to qualify to actually get into certain majors. So it's not just about changing the major, it's about qualifying for those certain majors. Now, most of our majors within the College of Social Science are fairly open. We do have a number of majors that you do have to qualify for with classes and grade point averages. So just basically keep that in mind when you're trying to change your major. Again, we will help you in the process of changing your major during orientation, but the process of actually changing won't begin until that first week of school. And again, just to reiterate, just keep in mind that you may have to meet some requirements to actually change into that different major.
Yeah, and just to clarify too, that a lot of the majors that you want to switch into, they may require an SJSU GPA, which case you would have to even wait until the end of your first semester in order to even switch. But yeah, there are some majors who are a little bit more lenient, but there's definitely no change of major happening during orientation. It would be during the regular school year. But another thing to keep in mind too is that just because you are one major does not mean you have to follow the classes for it. So let's say you came in as a psych major, you don't want to be a psych major, you want to be a social major. So what we can do is we can help you plan out classes for a social major. I'm sorry, I'm using an acronym, sociology major for sociology. And you can still technically be a psychology student taking sociology classes so that you're prepared to switch once you're ready to. So you don't have to necessarily switch your major right away in order to take the classes. Of course, we want you to eventually, but it doesn't have to be an immediate process.
Yeah, and I linked in the chat box the list of majors and minors at SJSU. It's always better if you are switching or thinking about switching to have an idea what you want to switch, because again, during orientation, we want to make sure that the change is reflected. A lot of the GE requirements will be the same to a lot of the majors. There are a few exceptions, of course, but for the most of the part, even if the first semester you're taking certain classes you're trying to explore, you just want to get a little bit more specific of what you want to work towards, because that will help us guide you through a little bit more. Instead of the hypothetical, what may happen, we have a little bit more concrete plan. But if you are thinking about switching, you just make sure to tell us. We will send out forms during the summer. We'll ask whether or not you're thinking about changing. And then during your orientation session, just make sure to tell the advisor, hey, I am thinking about switching to blank, and then we'll guide you through the process of what the next steps are in terms of registering for this fall semester. Long term, it again will change or depend on the major that you want to switch. So for example, if you would want to switch into a major in business, there is a lot of steps before you can actually officially declare business as a major.
And just to follow up, you can also do your own homework as well. All of our department websites are chock full of information about things such as what the major is all about, their department's all about. And also they have information about how to switch into that particular major. So do some of your own investigation and your homework about how to get into certain majors on campus.
And then we have another follow-up question. What kinds of honors program does SGSU have?
Well, we have a humanities honors program that the department actually recruits. The humanities department actually notifies qualified students of that particular program, and participating in the humanities honors program will get you priority registration, and you get a lot of your general education classes covered. So those are the benefits of the humanities honors program. I also believe that there is an honors program within the College of Business, but the ones the honors program that we all know of is the humanities honors program, which I believe recruits students based on grade point average and percentile of where you graduated in your class. I don't know the exact formula that they use, but they do actively recruit students during admissions.
I also included 2 links in the chat about the honors program. So the first link that I misspelled honors in, and that one is for the general information, the main page. There is 2 programs. One is the humanities honors program and the other one is the advanced honors program. The advanced honors program is for transfer students. So for Frosh, it would be the link that I sent in, the last link of the honors program. And you can look at a lot of the information you will get from the program will be directly from the program. When we meet with your student, if they are in the honors program, that will just make sure that all the classes are in. You do have, again, certain sections within the GE pattern that you'll have already taken care of. That's a little bit more technical once we get into orientation, but it does allow students to finish a lot of the GE requirements, and then we'll explain based on your major what other courses you can take in addition to the honors program courses. And then they also have a parents information page in there as well as an FAQ if you have any direct questions, whether you would prefer to have your student or the student yourself wants to be in the humanities honors program. And then any other questions?
Great questions, by the way. Awesome. How do we apply for the honors program? I believe in the link that Patricia put on there. I think there are steps to apply to the honors program within that link.
Yeah, so
And,
do you want me to head in?
oh yeah, go ahead.
So whenever in the FAQ page, which I'll also link it in the chat, it says, can I apply to the program? You will need at least the criteria or the qualifications to be in the program is a 3.0 overall in the high school GPA, as well as a SAT score or ACT. Again, the SAT or an ACT, because it was way through the COVID, I'm not sure how each of you have experienced the SAT, or if you even were able to access that. So my assumption will be that they'll base it off of just the GPA in it itself. And then if you, once you have contacted, if you have any questions in terms of if you want to be a part of, Sophia just linked in the coordinator of the program. If you want to contact them directly, if you haven't received any information about the humanities program already. Again, my assumption is if you haven't accepted admission or something, they're probably looking at the list of students currently to see who will be in the program. And then we have a compliment, and no question, compliment. But you guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. That's what we tried to do, is to try to make it as transparent and clear as possible, especially since it has been a confusing, hectic just year overall, and hopefully try to ease as much as possible the transition for yourself or your students. And if anybody doesn't have any question, we'll stick around for anyone who has any remaining questions or want one-on-one questions or something right now. If not, then that concludes the session for the next. This is how we can you close this off, Mel?
No problem. All right, here's our contact information. Again, we're located at Clark Hall, room 240. That's right across from the Tommy Smith John Carlos statues. Here's our website, www.sjsu.edu/access. And also that is a way to book appointments, but obviously you can't book appointments yet because you're not students. But again, that's our main website. Our phone number there, 408-924-5363. Of course, our general email address, and emailing us is the best way to actually contact us. And if you have any general questions, we will be able to address those right in the Access email. And again, welcome to San Jose State. I hope this was fun and informative for you. I know there's a lot of things going on out there right now in the world, a lot of things that you personally are going through, but we hope to at least make your college decision easy by hoping that you actually come here to San Jose State. For those who are coming, we welcome you folks. We can't wait to actually either interact with you online or actually hopefully one day see you in person. We hope you have a good week. Beyond that, a good months to come. Please be safe out there. And again, we hope to see you all in fall 2021. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And thanks for the compliment, that person.